Wednesday's weather for Weather Geeks. Here is Andrew, famous for being Andrew of Andrew's Answers, on the WFMJ Weekend Today morning show, which starts bright and early at 2 a.m. or no, not that early. Not that
Not
early.
that early.
No,
I'm
Saturdays.
getting close to that. 6 a.m.
6 a.m. Saturdays.
Yeah.
And 7 a.m. Sundays.
7 a.m. Sundays and then 9 to 10:30.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Andrew's Answers, in case anybody's new to this, what do we got going on there?
So Andrew's Answers is a segment we do for the second hour, which begins at 9 o'clock on Sundays. And basically, you, the viewer, send me in your weather-related questions. It could be anything, really. Weather is kind of a not really a stronghold term that we need. I mean, I can answer questions about astronomy, nature, anything science, really. And we answer those questions live on air, use graphics to incorporate it, and a lot of people get a kick out of it. See their question on air.
You said people can ask generally about anything. If I sent you a calculus question, would that be okay?
No, because calculus
could you derive something for us?
I would need to dust out the old calculus book.
Get out the TI-82 calculator. And all right, so check out Andrew's Answers on WFMJ Weekend Today. Send him some questions on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, email.
Any really sort of comment below on this link. So,
There you go. So, no question today was hot.
It was very hot, yeah.
I did my first weather live outside at 6. Thankfully, I was in the shade, but I still broke a sweat.
Yeah.
88 tied our warmest temperature of the year so far.
Yeah.
What day was 88? Was it Saturday? Saturday. So 2 88-degree days in the span of, 5 days?
Yeah, we were thinking we're going to get to 90 on Saturday, and then I'm getting to 88, and, I mean, we still haven't hit that 90-degree mark yet, but we're still above where we should be. I mean, in terms of the 90-degree mark, if we were to hit it, June 26th is really the 30-year average when it comes to the 90-degree mark.
And, over the last few summers, we've been talking about this over the past few weeks. Past few summers have not featured very many 90s.
Yeah.
We had
2014, none.
None. We had a few last year, and a couple of those were in September, kind of late in the season. So we got close again today. New Philly hit 91. Pittsburgh hit 88 this afternoon. Dew points, kind of in that range where it's a little humid, but it's not like Florida or anything. You're not going to mistake today for Orlando. But in the 50s and starting to creep up, and you'll notice out in western Ohio, Lima's at 65. So we're starting to get some higher dew point air starting to stream in, and I think you'll notice the change as you get up tomorrow morning. It'll kind of feel muggy out there tomorrow morning. Radar's quiet this evening, but that'll probably change as we go through the night. As we recorded this at, about 7:50. Yep. Some showers out across western Ohio and down towards the Cincinnati area. And here's our high-resolution Futurecast model showing, as we go into the night, basically a warm front's coming north. Yeah. That higher dew point air is essentially a warm front pushing our way, and as that pushes in, maybe there's a shower overnight. Even a thunderstorm is a possibility in the wee hours. It'd be ironic if Jess had more thunder on her shift than we ever do on the evening shift. It's been that kind of spring so far. I haven't had much thunder and lightning. And then as a lot of people are getting off to work tomorrow morning, 8 o'clock, I don't think there's a lot going on, and I don't think tomorrow's any kind of washout. No. I think actually more hours are dry than wet tomorrow.
And it started out like that a couple of days ago. We were thinking not a total washout, but definitely more than what's being produced right now.
This front's just kind of running out of gas as it comes east. Now, it does have some drier air behind it, but there's not much in the way of what we call dynamics associated with this. There's very, very little, if any, severe weather risk. And I'll tell you, once we get into the afternoon, if you live in northern Trumbull or even western Mahoning, you might not see a drop of rain tomorrow afternoon. I think the highest odds are from Youngstown south and east of additional shower and thunderstorm activity Thursday afternoon. And even in, say, Lawrence County or down towards East Liverpool, you might be pretty much out of the woods by 4 or 5 o'clock. Yeah. Leaving us with a pretty decent evening, and Friday's a better day as this high builds in from the west. Drier air mass and a really nice way to end the week. And then Saturday looks pretty good as well. Yeah. This next system, we talked about this earlier, looks a little faster perhaps with the arrival of moisture, but it's probably still after sunset.
On Saturday night into Sunday,
Some of the modeling's trying to get it in here towards 7, 8 o'clock Saturday, but not quite ready to buy that just yet. Here's a look at the modeling. When we came in this afternoon, we pointed out the RPM model. The green line here was way up here, and it seemed a little kind of crazy, and it's kind of backed off in its latest run down to about 1/3 of an inch. There's probably, an average of about 1/3 of an inch when you look at all these models.
We do need a little bit of that rain. What'd you say, 1/10 of an inch received at the airport over the past 10 years?
I think it's actually been a trace over the last 10 days. It's been very dry the last half of May. Now, we're not in a drought or anything yet, but we do need a little rain. And, I washed my car the other day like a dummy. Yeah. And, of course, a layer of pollen this big accrued on my car overnight, so that was kind of a waste of $10.
Yeah.
So anyway, the dew points coming up tonight. As you get up tomorrow morning, dew points could be around 70. It's going to feel soupy, but probably not for the whole day. I think the dew points start to tail off again towards the end of the day. Notice that drier air coming in from the north and west.
Mm-hmm.
Open up the windows Thursday night, pretty comfortable. And hey, look at this Friday. Dew points near 50. That's a nice treat.
That's perfect.
In the warm season.
Yeah.
That's going to be a great barbecue night Friday night. Bust out the grills. It'll be great to be outside. And this isn't a real humid pattern. Tomorrow, kind of humid, yes. Turning a little bit muggy over the weekend, especially Saturday night and Sunday. But look at next week.
Yeah.
A few days with dew points in the 40s and 50s.
And I like this graphic a lot because it shows people anytime the dew point really gets below that 60 mark, it's really in the pleasant category. And that's really what people focus on.
This big blue pleasant category is anything below 60.
Yeah.
And, dew points, it depends on where you live across the country. In our latitude where we live, 60 is kind of the magic number. Once you're above that, it's humid. Once you're below that, it's not so much. Now, if you lived in Orlando, a 65 dew point would be like, ooh, nice day.
Yeah.
It's refreshing out there. So dew points are, different just kind of where you live across the country.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about the rest of the weekend real quickly here with the GFS model. Here's Saturday evening. Again, the GFS pretty aggressive, bringing in the showers, even faster than its previous run. That was the previous run. Here's the current run. So we might have to throw in a small chance of rain towards the end of the day Saturday before all is said and done. And then here's our unsettled day Sunday. Probably not a washout or anything, but
looking similar to the setup for tomorrow.
Yeah, kind of similar. Yeah, you got a fairly weak front pushing in, some showers around. Maybe there's a thunderstorm as well, and then cool pattern for next week. If this were February, we'd be talking about lake effect snow showers.
Yeah.
But a big deep trough with a lot of cold air aloft. Instability showers will try to get going probably Monday and again on Tuesday. And we picked Tuesday is the coolest day.
Yeah.
Staying in the 60s. Nothing crazy for June, but 5, 6, 8 degrees below average, certainly.
Yeah.
And then if you're missing the warm weather, I think it'll return tail end of next week. Boy, this looks like a nice pattern at the end of next week. Here's a week from tomorrow. Big dome of high pressure right overhead almost. That looks like a beautiful, beautiful end of next week.
And things continue to be quiet. No severe weather in sight for the next 7 to 10 days. And like we we don't like severe weather. We don't want that. But some air mass thunderstorms. It'd
be interesting.
Nice variety,
some variety would be nice. That's for sure.
Yeah.
It's been a very quiet spring on that front so far. All right, follow Andrew on social media and catch him on WFMJ Weekend today. I'll see you tonight. 21 News at 11 o'clock.